Let's see what she has on her terminal. Article, The Synthetic Truth, which I believe I already own. Noodles, we all eat them. We all love them. Diamond City's Power Noodles has supplied this sustenance for the past 15 years. From the stilted mechanical cadence to the fragrant steam that wafts from each bowl to the scalding tang of each delicious mouthful. The ordering and eating of noodles is but one of the many shared human experiences. Or is it? Dun, dun, dun. I was struck by this very question when I sat at the counter of the Power Noodles last Wednesday night, just after 5 p.m., enjoying a dinner I had so many times before. That's when I noticed our very own Mayor McDonough slide up to a stool and engage in the very same ritual. Right hand extending, mouth opening, teeth chewing. Yes, eating noodles. The shared experience of almost every Diamond City resident. So it must have also seemed to the residents of Diamond City nearly 60 years ago, on an uncharacteristically warm May evening in 2229, as they sat at this very same counter. But that was before the days of Takahashi and his noodles, when the bar served not noodles, but ice-cold Nuka-Colas, frosty beers, and stiff shots of whiskey. The barman's name was Henry, and that night he facilitated the shared human experiences of drinking, smoking, talking, and laughing. That is, until tragedy struck. There aren't many of us who are even old enough to remember that evening, although some of the city's ghoul residents certainly could have, and had they not been forcibly removed thanks to Mayor McDonough's anti-ghoul decree of 2282. But there is one person among us who does remember distinctly the events that happened that evening. Respected matriarch Eustace Hawthorne, who recounted her story in a public occurrences exclusive interview. Oh, I was there all right, sitting right at the bar, sure as you're sitting in front of me now. 22 years old or so, and just looking to have a good time. I was safe behind the wall, we all were, so what was the harm? And let me tell you, that Mr. Carter made it easy. He came into the town earlier that day, said he was from out west somewhere. It didn't really matter. What did matter was his smile, and his laugh, and the way he'd make everyone feel at ease. That night at the bar, we all just sort of crowded around him. Everybody wanted to exchange a word or hear about the state of the Commonwealth. And Mr. Carter, he was all too happy to oblige. It was just so wonderful. Till it wasn't. Eustace continued her account of that evening and the moment when things turned sinister, and the truth about Mr. Carter was revealed. He'd been drinking and carrying on. Must have been 3 hours. Mr. Carter had 4 or 5 drinks in that time. He seemed a bit drunk, I guess, like the rest of us. Then something just sort of happened. He was smiling, but the smile sort of went from his face all in an instant. And then his cheeks started twitching, kind of funny. And I remember watching him clear as if it happened just yesterday. He reached inside his coat, took out a revolver, and then BAM! He shot Henry the barman right in the head. Didn't hesitate. Didn't show emotion. Mr. Carter killed Henry as casually if he were paying for a drink. But his cheek never did stop twitching. Let me tell you, all hell broke loose after that. What Eustace is describing, of course, is the infamous event known as the Broken Mask, when the people of the Commonwealth learned for the first time that the Institute, the shadowy organization responsible for the creation of combat androids, had actually succeeded in creating a model of android so advanced it could effortlessly infiltrate human society. Unbeknownst to the people of Diamond City, the Institute had somehow evolved their androids into true synthetic humanoids. Synths. After he shot Henry, That Mr. Carter shot 3 or 4 other people, too. Like I said, all hell broke loose. The guards came running. They opened fire, and Mr. Carter, he kept shooting and throwing people around left and right. Finally, those guards put him down. Seemed like they had killed a man who had flipped his lid. Gone crazy. He lay there like a dead crazy man, sure enough. God, it was horrible. But then we saw the plastic and the metal. This was one of them early synths, you see. And we realized it wasn't a man at all. It was then we all knew the Institute wasn't just out there. The Institute was everywhere now. Among us. It was never determined precisely why the synth known as Mr. Carter went on his killing spree. Some suggested he somehow been remotely controlled by the Institute, who wanted to test his combat effectiveness. Still others felt that he simply malfunctioned, a hypothesis supported by the twitching cheek, and was never meant to kill anyone. But at that time, the why hardly seemed important. What mattered was that the humans of the Commonwealth had been truly infiltrated by an organization whose intentions and motivations were, and still are, a complete mystery. Which brings us to noodles. Specifically, the noodles consumed by Mary McDonough last Wednesday night in the same spot that Mr. Carter the Synth went haywire and mercilessly killed several people. After spending hours sharing an experience with the people of Diamond City, assumed was reserved for members of the human race. They were wrong. Are we? Ooh. Reader complaints. Oh my goodness, so many complaints. Honor the wall. In your most recent edition, your paper failed to acknowledge in any way the contribution of the mighty wall in the defense of our town against last month's super mutant attacks. I find that extremely offensive, and will not be purchasing another copy until such disrespect is publicly corrected. Published response: we honor the efforts of all those involved in the defense of our great city, from our valiant guards to the mighty wall. Personal response: dear Whackjob, 2 members of Diamond City security died defending this town. Where was your hunk of plywood for them? That's... well, yeah. Reader complaint. Happy story? I find choice of topic sad. How about happy story? Maybe something about nice bar. Thank you for your feedback. Our stories are selected for relevance and importance to the Diamond City populace. Personal response: Vadim, no story about your bar is going to end happily. And for shame. Your paper is just trying to drum up fears about synths to increase sales. You should be ashamed of yourself. Thank you for your concern. Our paper makes significant efforts to ensure all of our stories are accurate and free from editorializing. Personal response: thank you for your concern. I hope you get snatched. That's not nice at all. Shouldn't hope that, Piper. What archive? Oh my goodness. These are probably soon to be stories. Dear public, I'm torn between... oh, okay. Dear public, I'm torn between 2 loves. On one hand, I have my profession. Every moment I spend with the young up-and-comers for whom I work for brings such joy. On the other hand, I have my co-worker. Wise, patient, debonair. Many suggest that I'm not lively enough for him, but I can picture life with no other. I long to confess my feelings for him, but my life is my work. Trying to add a relationship, it would simply shortchange everyone. I must choose, public. But who? Paramore. Dear Pear, love is rare, too. Doubtedly so. Make it work, Pear. You work in the same building, for shucks' sake. Teen troubles. Dear public, me and my little girl have been on our own for a long time now. She's the most important thing in my life, but lately it seems like she's not as interested in hanging out with her papa. I understand she's got to grow up someday, but I'm not ready to let her go. What should I do to make sure I don't lose my little girl? Teen troubles. Dear Troubles, your girl's becoming her own person. Let her make decisions. Screw up. Maybe throw some extra caps her way so she can take her friends out for noodles more often. Then, when she's ready, she'll come to you. That's some pretty good advice right there. Ooh, Desperate in Diamond City. Dear public, I've been living in Diamond City for years now, but I've never been able to land a girlfriend. I wear nice clothes, I give them free drinks, but they just seem to think I'm some sort of creep. My boss says I've got a face only a mother could love. And I think he's right. I feel I'm out of options, public. Should I take the plunge and change my face? Desperate in Diamond City. Dear Desperate, ever try talking to these girls? You should give it a go. No more trying to buy your way to affection. You need to earn it. But I'm a nice guy. They owe me. Sleepwalking the beat. Dear public, I got this job. It pays the bills, but lately, it's making it so I can't sleep at night. Things have been so tense. I'm getting worried that if something doesn't change, I might slip up and get myself or someone else hurt. Any advice, public? Sleepwalking the beat. Dear Beat, sounds like you need to relax more. I know after a hard day of solving other people's problems, I like to grab a Nuka-Cola, pull out a stack of comics, and read till I pass out. Give it a try. And the last one, Alone in the Upper Stands. Dear public, I could use a friend. Everyone in this town is either jealous of me or afraid of me because of how I look and who I work for. I'm not willing to compromise who I am just so people will like me more, but it just gets so lonely. But you seem to be a smart gal, public. Any chance you want to grab a drink sometime? Alone in the Upper Stands. Dear Alone, going to have to take a rain check on that drink, but your instincts are good. New friends crop up in the most unlikely places. You just need to search them out. And that's all of the letters. I was hoping I'd learn something cool. I did find out about the... No, I don't like the rest. Why is sleeping stealing? I did find out about the synth event. Purified water. Hey, creepy girl, why are you just staring at me? Don't do that. It's not cool. Okay. We need to go find Nick Valentine. Monsieur le Valentines! Where are we? Is there a way down other than jumping? Because I really don't want to jump. I guess I can go this way. Boop! Tee-hee! Oh, he found a way down. Boop! Okay. We need to find...
Anyone is one of those things. It's that secretary of his. Her and her perfect hair.
Secretary, come on. I cut her hair myself, and I know human hair.
That's just it, Johnny. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. If you nick McDonough with your razor, he'd bleed. Don't mean nothing.
Don't mean nothing. Alright, that's good
Today's
to know.
Halloween. But do we get treats? No, it's all tricks all day.
All tricks, all day. I need to find someone I can sell to, actually. Hey, but, first I need to take all my stuff. Oh, never mind. Cosworth doesn't have anything. Cool.
Greetings, good to see another robot in town.
What?
Oh man, you got a robot butler?
I do.
I want
But-
a robot butler.
Say, I I'm Codsworth. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
何しますか
Oh, is that so?
Nani?
Well, we both know Rodco's no General Atomics. Not surprising it failed. Shoddy work and all. Chin up, though. Never know when parts may turn up.
Oh, that's nice you found a friend, Cosworth, but I need to find your replacement. I believe he's back here. I am correct.